Okay, so we're just testing the broadcast. The stream will start, waiting for the broadcast to be published. There we go, because we're not going to make the mistake that we did last week where we streamed and nobody showed up because things didn't. Okay, we are live. That's fantastic. Good to know. Okay, cool. So we tested that. Okay, so today we're making a coronavirus. I've seen a couple of stupid little things on YouTube and Reddit and stuff about that, or maybe not YouTube, but like not streaming sites, like the 3D modeling sites, Sketchfab, Reddit's our 3D modeling everything. So we are going to make today a coronavirus. I've got this dumb idea given to me by my content manager. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to model it and then texture it and then perhaps rig it up. So should be a lot of fun. We'll see how it turns out. Let's create a new collection to store these items into. And we'll just call these scene items, I guess. And then we'll make this collection the coronavirus. Okay, so my idea for this coronavirus is, it's mostly an idea of like a robot. Like if we could have the coronavirus be a robot, what would it be? That's what we're gonna do. So should be pretty good. I don't know. I'm looking forward to creating it. Maybe somebody else will too. All right, so we're gonna start, I guess, just by blocking it out and getting what we're looking for. So I'm gonna need a cylinder here, and let's go ahead, drop this depth way down. Like, I think 0.5 is probably good. Okay, and then this will be like the base of our virus, because you know how they have that little like base, and then they have the tall thin thing with a head on top with the spider legs, 6 little spider legs. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, so we'll call this the base. And from here, let's actually look at that in the front, and then it's 0.5. So we'll move it up 0.25, just so I can have the point of origin all the way at the bottom. So, all right, cool. So we've got our base. We've got our base. That's good. And now let's create. Yeah, it's gonna basically. Well, we're gonna need a new piece. So what we'll do, we'll add on a new cylinder here. And we'll make this even slightly smaller, so maybe 0.25. And the point of this will allow us to kind of rotate around on top of our model. Because ultimately what I'd like to do is have this totally rigged up. I might even need to make that a little thinner. Maybe that'll probably be fine. Okay, cool. So in edit mode, we'll just do 0.6 on the z-axis. 0.06. There we go. GZ 0.06. All right. So now we can take this up and put it right on top, basically. Right there. Because this will spin around and it will allow our Corona bottle virus to rotate around and find things to shoot limes at. That's what we're doing in this video. I love it. I love this idea so much. Perhaps the weirdest thing I've ever modeled. Okay, cool. So Shift S, move the cursor to the selection. And we want to add in a cube here. No, Shift A. Just add in a cube. Now that's obviously way too big. So let's drop this size down significantly. And I can just move this around how I want. So let's delete this bottom face so we don't have any faces on the inside of our model. Select everything on it by Control L. Move this back down. Okay. Now, viruses have like a longer piece to them, but half that's going to be the bottle. So I'm not going to make it too big, but we'll just move this up. Something like that. And then I will bevel these edges like that. That should probably be sufficient. And so now we can rotate this around, and the bottle can kind of fit right in that little gap there, and things will be okay. I feel like that's going to need to be taller. So let's grab these and move them up higher. That's probably going to need maybe even higher. Okay. And so this is our base, and here is our... In fact, let's even move this up, because it's going to have 6 spider legs coming out of it, keeping it at 0. And Shift-C will put our cursor back in the middle of the screen, and we can add in a plane, and this will just tell us where the where our baseline is. So we'll move this into the scene thing and just call this the ground. All right, and then this cylinder right here is the rotating. What would you call that? It's a... Hey, Jordan, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Question: what would you call the thing? Like, it's not called a hinge. It's a joint. It's gonna spin. It holds something in place. I don't know what to call it, to be honest. But it is, I don't know. I don't know what I'd call that. I have a hard time naming things. It's not something I'm particularly good at, but I try. Okay, so we'll call this, and the base might want to be, this base might need to be a little bit bigger. I don't know. I'll just call it Link for now. Whatever. It's not going to be, that's not perfect. It's not a great name, but it is what it is. All right, cool. So then what we need to do, I'm going to grab the scaler here, and I want to scale it in the X and Y position. Maybe not that big. Maybe scale that back down. Yeah, just so it's not the exact same size here. That's probably good. And then we can Control A and apply that scale on that model. So that way we don't get any weird things coming up when we start doing crazy things. All right, and actually we're going to add an empty object here. I'm just going to prepare this for when we start rigging things a little bit. So we're going to do cursor to selected object here, and I'm just going to put an empty object in this location. We'll just put, I guess we could put a circle. Rotate that circle. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this will be rotation control. And it will be the parent of Link. Whoops. Do that in reverse. Hope everybody's having a great night. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out while we model things here on our Tuesday live stream. All right, so we've done that. That's all great. That's all fine and dandy. And we have section here. Let's shade that smoothly. Go over here to normals, auto smooth that so it looks better. There we go. Do the same thing over here, auto smooth that. It's gonna make it look a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. And just kind of blocking things out at the moment. So nothing is gonna be finalized or working at the moment, but that's where we're at. Okay. Cursor to selected, and we can go ahead. Well, actually, let's add the barrel first, and then we'll add the legs, because we'll do something kind of crazy with the legs, I think. All right, so we need to add in the bottle. So we will add in a cylinder. And let's make this decently tall. I think that's probably fine. Go into, what's the height here? 3.09. Let's just make it an even 3. Say that's okay. Apply the scale there, and then we can move this up 1.5 on the Z to get that base thing. Okay. All right, and then we can just move this up. And here we go. Now this will basically be our rotating bottle when all is said and done. That should be fine. So let's just kind of get the basic bottle shape here. Never actually made a bottle before, so we're gonna try some things out, see how they work. Here, let's actually do this instead. So let's inset this face real quick. Fine, and extrude that up. And that'll get us the basic shape of a bottle. And then I imagine that if I select all of that, and select all of that right there, I can now bevel. Yeah, and that's going to get us our thing. I want to clamp the overlap. I don't want it to be able to overlap at all. But how do I then... Okay. Okay, so I'm going to need to do this. Let's move this back down a little bit. And then grab that, and bevel these things down there. And then maybe I can pull it up with proportional editing. So GZ. There we go. It's going to give me much better bottle shape. Definitely worth it here. And then because we have this weird little extra darkened line in here, basically that means we've added on some extra vertices. So we'll just merge by distance, and now we've removed 32 verts, and our model is clean again, which is great. So now we can take this up, and actually let's turn off proportional editing, and I guess extrude would probably be better way of doing that. And let's scale this in. There we go. Okay, so we're just trying to make our beer bottle here, our Corona bottle. And in order to make our beer bottle lip, let's extrude this up just a tad. And then grab all of these faces, extrude, leave in place. Shrink and fatten tool. Turn off proportional editing. And then push these out just a bit. And then we will go ahead and bevel this. So. It's maybe a bit too wide. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably okay. It's probably okay for now. Let's check the wireframe on it. Where is that? Yeah. All right, cool. So we could even go so far as to scale that out a bit. Maybe scale it out a little bit further. And if we were really trying to make the whole bottle, maybe we wanted to add in some like actual fluid here, then now we've got our actual bottle. I'm not so sure I want to do that, but go ahead, shade that smooth, auto smooth that, and now we've got a bottle. And we can go ahead and kind of scale this down, which is actually turning out pretty nice so far, I think. And so if we were to, let's say we rotate this on the y-axis, maybe that's not quite exactly where I want it to be. But now we should be able to rotate this on the y-axis a little bit. And that would allow us to pinpoint a location. But to me, that seems like, all right, well, that's all good and all, but that's not going to be the best place for... wait, where is the... It's not going to be the best place for that object origin. Set origin, we want to do geometry to origin. Set origin to the center of mass. There we go. So now we can move this kind of up here. And we could rotate this on that y-axis. And it would be much, much better at performing our firing shot here. I do think that bottle should have a little bit longer of a neck. So we're going to go in here and select all of that right there. And actually, where is my select through? There should be a selection mode where I can select all the way through things. But I suppose I'll just have to do it this way. And then we could just kind of pull that. There we go. Okay, so the bottle is now mapped out, which is going to be our turret for this coronavirus. And we can go ahead and remove the rotation on this. We'll move that back to 0. That's fine. And now it's almost time for making it. Let's go back in here. I want to fix this. Oh, come on, GG. What'd I do? Yeah, there we go. That's better, but we want to, let's go ahead and bevel this a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Hello, Chroma. How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, we'll go ahead and go to select. And we will clean up and merge by distance. There we go. And that gives us a smoother bottle. How are you doing, Chroma? How's life going for you? It's been a while. It's been a while since we've chatted. Hope everything is going great with you. Okay, so we have our bottle, which essentially serves as our virus head. We have this rotating piece here, which actually, let's name this bottle as, I guess, turret bottle. And make it a child of Link. Or maybe it should just be a child of rotation council. Rotation control. So now when we rotate this along the z-axis, it should rotate the bottle as well. So if we rotate this, let's rotate this on the x-axis, 90 degrees. Then when we rotate our rotation control, yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's going to give us our turret. I don't know if I like how tall up or high up that is, but we will fix it. Right now we're just blocking things out, which is okay. So we can go ahead and we can kill this rotation, drop that back down to 0, and we will need to create a top rotation. So it's been going. You're currently sick, but you took some NyQuil. You'll be sleeping soon. I don't know. Well, I hope you feel better. I hope you don't have the coronavirus. That would be awkward, considering that's what we're modeling right now. But, you know, maybe it'll help you feel better about it. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Life's been good as of late, so I have no complaints. No complaints. That's a really good place to be in, I feel like. Okay, that's actually, you know what, we're gonna reapply that 90 degrees, because what I want to do is we're gonna add on the cup that will hold the limes that will feed into this Corona bottle, and then they will eventually be fired out of this coronavirus because I think I'm funny. So let's model a cup and then move it to where we want it to be. So we will go ahead, Shift S, and set the cursor to the selected object, and we'll add in another cylinder, which is fine. We'll drop this depth way down, probably something like, if the bottle, how tall is the bottle? The bottle is 3.07. So the cup should probably be, I don't know, maybe like a half the bottle height. So that should be 1.5. Yeah, that's probably fine. It's probably fine. It doesn't need to be that thick, but it's probably okay. How's Chroma, how's school going? You're in your last semester before college. What's that? How's that going? That's got to be exciting. All right, so it's less than a meter thick. So we want to definitely scale this down to at least less than a meter. And when we do that, that's not going to work. So let's get rid of the rotation here. See what they look like side by side. Yeah, that cup is definitely... There we go. That's better. Control A, apply the scale. Okay, and let's go ahead and just kind of block out this cup. And what I'm thinking for the cup will be just kind of like I guess maybe a clear cup with some lime wedges in it. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and we will move this out. You're sick of it? Senioritis is starting to hit? Well, it's about time, you know? You had a good run. It's a good time for senioritis to hit. All right, so let's inset this face just a little bit and drop this down. Okay, and then we can shade that smooth and set the auto smoothing on. There we go. All right, and what we want to do is we'll grab this bottom rim here and just kind of bevel that so that the cup has a more beveled edge, and we will bevel this as well so that nobody's drinking out of a super sharp cup. Yeah, there we go. I can see realistically having some lime wedges in that and it feeding in. I feel like that's probably a pretty good way to do. You really miss my class. Our lovely replacement teacher isn't nearly as fun. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chroma. I am sorry. I wish, honestly, I've been thinking a lot about you guys recently, and I wish I had. No, I'm glad I didn't stick around and continue teaching. But I'm sorry that I had to leave you guys with who I left you with. That's not fun. Did you guys actually create a game this year, or were you just like doing nothing all year? Okay, so this is the feeder cup. Look at that from the front. Yeah, there we go. All right, and it's almost time to make some lime wedges and the legs, and then we can really get into more detail and making everything look better. But hey, Francie, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for popping in. We are making a coronavirus out of a Corona bottle with some lime wedges and some like spider legs, combining a literal like super virus and a Corona bottle. It was an idea that came to me from my content manager's suggestion, so we're running with it. And right now we're just blocking everything out. So We've got our cup that's going to hold our lime wedges once we've made them. We've got the basics of our bottle. It's not completely finished. I'm not fully happy with it yet. And then we've got some things kind of set up to rotate junk, which is fine. And actually, let me put this, I'm going to put this feeder cup under here as well, so that when we rotate the rotation, the cup is going to go with it. Yeah. Now we got to figure out where the kind of center is. So let's hide this object. And let's turn the rotation back to 0 for a second. Oh, wait. 90. Control A. Apply that rotation. Now it's at 0. Oh, it doesn't like that. Well, that's dumb then. Let's go. Let's change this. We'll display this as arrows. Not arrows. As plain axes rather than a circle. I thought I could get it to keep going. For the... Excuse me. For the game, you did make it and everything, but it's done, and I've just been class gossiping and stuff with Allie all the time. Needless to say, we get nothing done now. What game did you guys make? What'd you guys do? I'm curious. And what was your art looking like towards the end there? Okay, so that's here, and if we're looking at this from the front, oh, this needs to be rotated 90 degrees on that z-axis, and apply that. Okay, so what I want to do, we're going to move this up a little bit, and then out a little bit, something like that. And we're going to add in just a connector cable in between there. So no big deal, but we'll just add in another cylinder because that's what we're making this thing out of apparently. Just a ton of cylinders. And we're going to rotate this on the y-axis. No, this will be the x-axis. 90 degrees. And then maybe the y 90 as well. That does nothing. Z-axis 90 to get that rotation that we want. Yep, fantastic. And the radius needs to drop down significantly. Maybe something like that, perhaps. And then we can move this over. So let's move this on the axis. And what we're trying to do here really is give the illusion that the limes that will sit in this cup are feeding in to our turret bottle. And then when we rotate our turret bottle, and actually we can scale this down on the x-axis because there's no reason for it to be that big there. Scale that even further. Probably something like that is fine. Okay, and then we can actually come in here and I'll leave that side, but we'll definitely delete this side. So that way we don't have to texture it. You made a 3D version of Tank Trouble. Is that where you got the two competing tanks and you're trying to blow each other up? For your art, you really only got to do texture work. You didn't really contribute much thinking back about it. Well, that's sad, but I'm sure it turned out pretty good. So I'm sure it turned out great. What did everybody else create? Do you know? Do you remember? Do you remember? Okay, so this is, I guess that's the feeder cup. This will be feeder tube. And we'll put this under the rotation. So now when we rotate this, that moves the whole thing. And what we want to do here, actually, let's hide this. And that's, yeah, actually, that's pretty perfectly placed. And we'll add in another empty object to kind of handle do another plane axis. And this will be the X rotation control. Okay, so now I can rotate the rotation control. In fact, we will lock the rotations here for that, and then we can go to the wrist rotation control and lock everything except the Z, so that way we can't. So now we can rotate it, and it'll stay on that Z axis. And we can rotate this, and it'll only ever happen on that X, which is great. That's what we want. Okay, so let's do that there, something like that. And now we've got this, which we can fill with limes, and good. Can't recall Andrew's group's project, but the others, I don't think they're actually working. Whew. And I imagine the teacher I left you guys to inherit doesn't care. All right, so we'll auto smooth that. We've got our little Corona bottle. We've got our cup for the limes. Got our stand. All right, I'm almost to the point where I need to stop and make the legs and make the lime cups. So what do I want to make first? That's the question. We'll try our hand at a lime wedge because I never tried to make one of those, and it sounds kind of fun, to be honest. So let's go ahead and start with the sphere. Oh, that's an empty object. I don't want that. Let us add a real sphere, a UV sphere, and move this over on the x-axis just so I can have kind of a clean place to work here. And we will do this. Select half and delete all of those faces. Okay, and now we can look at that from the right-hand side. Wireframe. Delete all those faces. He says he expects the games to be done by the end of this quarter, so I think he's trying to get us to work, but with limited success. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. All right, and I feel like this. Here, let's go this route. The wedge needs to be a little bit better, so we're going to just take off some more of these faces just to make the wedge a little thinner here. Hope everybody who's hanging out in the stream is having a good night, and you guys are enjoying hanging out with me, because I enjoy hanging out with you guys. So we're going to, no, I don't want to join them. I want to fill in vertex here, and then we can make a face, but don't worry because, wait, so if I just, it selects everything. Interesting. Let us deselect this side and then fill that in with a face there. Fill that in with a face there and get out of wireframe mode to solid shading. Now, what do we need to do? We need to turn this face into something that doesn't look horrible. So we could triangulate those faces, but I don't like the way that did it. So we could do it manually. Not sure I want to do that, but we could. We could, what if we delete that face? Select the thing, and then try to do a quad fill, see what it gives us. Or a grid fill. Select 2 edge loops. Okay, so it doesn't want to do that. But if we just select this and subdivide that, maybe. Yeah, those should probably be at the same height there. Fill something like that in. And then try to quad fill this. Okay, it doesn't like that, But maybe we can just triangulate face, or fill that and then triangulate faces, which I think is Control T. Yeah, that's better. Control T. Okay, I'm much happier with the layout of the lime wedge now than I was before. But now we could probably just do this and Control T, and everything is good to go. So now we have our lime wedge. And that's all fine and dandy and everything, but limes generally don't look just like that. But if we mark it as shaded as smooth, make that thing auto smooth, and then maybe what if we bevel these edges a bit? That's better. That's definitely better. I like that a little bit more. And then can I bevel this? I can. Something like that. I think I'm happier with, but I don't like this one edge here. So let's just, oh, okay, cool. Let's do this. We will clean it up. We'll go to mesh, clean up, merge by distance. Should remove 6 vertices. Fantastic. And then can move this back to be more in line. Something like that. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's probably good enough for right now. I'm not, you know, super happy with it, but it'll do for right now. It'll do, pig. It'll do. All right, Control A, apply that scale, and let's just move this sucker over here. And actually, you know what? Let's set that origin to the center of mass. For volume, scale that down just a little bit more, rotate that. Sure. That sounds good. Rotate along the z-axis. Scale the whole thing up a bit. All right, now we've got ourselves one lime. Okay. Lime. And we will make this a child of the feeder cup. And then we'll put a couple of these in here. So, just blocking things out. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It's something I enjoy doing, and I'm hoping you're learning, or at least enjoying the music, classical music coming on in the background. All right, so we're gonna duplicate and then rotate a little bit, something like that. Yeah, that's probably fine. And then I can just make them each have, oh, you know what I should do? I don't want to just duplicate them. I want them to have the exact same data inside them too. So let's call this lime. And then go here and change this to lime. And this one to lime. And that way, when we unwrap them and we texture them, all of them will have the same data, and I don't have to do anything because it's going to have the exact same mesh data applied to it. Which is why mesh data, and knowing the difference between mesh data and object data in Blender, is super useful. Because it saves you time when you have to worry about how you're creating things. Okay. Also, if any of you are 3D artists, I am open to any questions. So if you have questions and you're just like chill and hanging out, or you're like, you've watched the channel and you've learned something, you want to ask something, feel free. I'm always happy to help. Okay, so I think I'm good with that. So the feeder cup is there. So now we rotate this and it moves the limes with it. Cool. Limes go with it. The bottle is good. Then we can rotate the bottle to figure out how we're going to fire everything, which is nice. Very nice. And if I were going to do this in like Unity, that's probably all I would need to do. Call that a day, and then I could set it up differently. But, all right, I can't put it off any longer. It's time to do the legs. Okay, so we'll have to... Yeah, and this is just blocked off for sure. So we got a lot more work to do on this model, and at least another hour to go. So thanks for hanging out. Hope you continue to do so. Okay, so let's just create an object. And here, we'll create one leg and go from there. So we'll create the cylinder, and we'll just move this over, and I'll work on it over here. So we will go into edit mode, scale this down on the Z-axis, and then Shift S, cursor to selected, and add in a cube. This cube will function as the arm, so we'll delete this face, grab the whole thing, scale it down a bit, and move it forward on the Y. Yeah, that's probably good. All right, cool. So then we can grab this face and move it forward on the Y-axis to right about there. And then we're going to need to add in a new cylinder. Now this cylinder will go in the opposite direction. Cursor to selected, and then add in a new cylinder. And we want to rotate this on the Y-axis 90 degrees. Cool. And then scale it down on the Y. On the X. Okay, Control L, hide that. I just want to delete this face real quick. Delete the face. Move that over. Alt H to bring back what was hidden. Okay, and let's go ahead and rotate this. We want to set our rotation to the 3D cursor at this point, and we want to rotate this on the X-axis so that way it kind of comes up just like that. All right, and then we'll Control L again, grab everything, duplicate it once more. I think I may have duplicated multiple times. So let's clean up. Merge by did. Nope, it didn't duplicate anything. So Control L there, and then Shift D. And we'll move this just on the Y, I guess, to right about there. Get that from the right-hand side. And let's do this. We'll change our pivot point back to the median. Kind of rotate that. GZ, move it up. And over. And so now we've got the beginnings. We've basically got our leg. And then here's actually what I want to do. We want to scale this down on the Y a little bit so that it's shorter. I sink that into the Y, and then I want to grab all of this and move it on the Y to fit over here. Yep. All right, cool. So we were starting to get our legs here. That's probably better. And probably, what, Alt-M to merge at center there. Okay. And I guess I kind of want to slide this up. Yeah. All right. So we have an arm here, and ultimately it's probably pretty good, to be honest. All right, and it's probably at this point that I should save. All right, let's change up this music. This music is nice, but it's a little sleepy. So let's do this. Maybe jump to this one. There we go. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Why is that even able to be moved? Let's lock that. Whoops. Whoops! Okay. Alright, cool. So now we have our leg, and our leg is operational. So let's put it here. Kind of rotate this out. And if we're going to, let's look at this from the top. So figure out how to place this a little bit. So let's place this right here. Maybe that arm is a little short. So let's zero back out that rotation there. And jump back into edit mode. All right, cool. So there we go. We have one arm, and then we can Control-Shift-D to link duplicate if that's still a hotkey control. Control-Shift-D. Nope. Okay, Control-D. Put one here. Okay. And then actually let's apply... let's call this leg. Name your objects and your object data, people. It will help you when you start to like animate and rig things up. You'll be able to be able to see your stuff a lot easier. So we'll make this legs data, and this will be leg 01. Leg 02. And if I'm honest, I should probably name the individual legs. So this would be front left leg, FL leg. BL. Okay, so we've named our legs. We've got our legs. That's great. And now I want to duplicate them. So we'll duplicate and then rotate on the z-axis 180. Yeah, okay. Turning our pivot point back to the 3D cursor, now we can rotate those 180, and it's lined it up perfectly. So now we have our coronavirus in its basic blocked out form. So we've got legs that will animate to kind of move forward, like, you know, whatever. And then we'll have the beer bottle that will act as a turret and fire limes at whatever we're firing things at. Legendary, welcome to the stream. Howdy, howdy. How are you doing? I do feel like the bottle should be bigger, though. Okay, like, hold on. Median point. we go. Yeah, that's definitely more proportional, I think. Definitely more proportional now. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this so much. I can't wait for this whole thing to be complete. I'm going to do it, most of it tonight. I still have about another hour that I can stream. So we're going to stream for another hour. This is going to be great. Hanging out with you guys. How are classes going, Legendary? How's that science class turning out? That was what you were struggling with at the beginning of the semester, right? Or was that last semester? It's been a while since we've talked. Okay, so let's see what's next. This is basically, yeah. So let's do this. Let's go into edit mode here, and we're going to make the back of this bottle a little bit better. So we will bevel this, give it a nice rounder edge, and then grab this face here and inset this just a bit. Maybe something like that. And bevel this. Something like that. Yeah, that's fine. And then select everything, mesh, clean up, delete. Okay, you have to select everything in order to remove those vertices. So there we go. There's our beer bottle more, or I guess more properly done. Here, let's do this. Let's undo those changes and inset the face first before we bevel. So we'll do this. We'll inset, and then I guess maybe we can inset again and just kind of push it in and do something like that, but yeah. Okay, so now we can grab these and bevel them, and that's going to give us a much smoother transition with our bottom of our bottle. Yeah. All right, cool, good. Congratulations on passing that first test. C+, well done. Well done. You know what they call doctors who get C's in medical school? Doctor. Well done. Gosh, I don't know why, but I'm just loving this thing. This is really cool. This is really stinking cool. Oh, okay, so when I duplicated it, it duplicated the object data. So we want to do this. Can I do... Oh, it's Alt-D is the duplicate linked. Okay. Still a feature, but not completely right. C's definitely get degrees, man. Don't stress yourself out. All right, we're just going to finish placing these guys a little bit. And then... Okay, so it's about time to continue adding some additional detail. Let's take a look at the barrel here. That doesn't look right, so we'll bevel this. It's just a little bit. Let's undo that. That's probably okay. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to need to... I think I'm going to need to adjust these arms a little bit. So let's say that they are at position... Let's make that at 0. No, that's not what... Shoot, that's not what I wanted. Here, let's hide... Can I make us... Yeah, I can. Okay, cool. So we'll do the turret collection, and then we can add all of these things. Put this in the turret control. Wait, where are these limes? These limes... Okay, that was weird. Okay, but that's okay. Now we can grab the base and all of its parts and put it in its own little collection there. So we can turn off the turret and just work on this base, which is nice. This is what we wanted. Cool. All right, so let's check. Where is this at? This is at negative. Let's just do negative 0.8. Which then this would be 0.8. And then I guess we could do negative 0.9. That virus made me cancel my plan for the upcoming summer break. Were you going to go back to see family? 23, welcome to the stream, by the way. But were you headed back to see family? All right, skip this one. Actually, let me check. Here we go. This should be a good little playlist for us for a little bit. Okay, where are we at? So with this one, we're at y is 0, negative 1.2. So you were going to go home and see family and you can't now. Well, that is saddening. Is your family okay? Have you been able to talk to them about the virus? Since now you're not able to go? And then I guess if this is negative 0.8 and negative 0.9, this should be 0.8 and 0.9. Well, that's actually kind of nice because I got it pretty close before. Without actually meaning to, so negative 0.8. Okay, cool. So now these are kind of locked into their positions, which is good. So we have that. We have our turret base. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to add little like sockets for these things to fit into. I guess I feel like that's probably the best thing we could do here. So let me just do this. Grab this face, move it up just a bit. And then I guess I'm going to need to create some cubes here. Your friends and family are fine there, but you feel bad for the students who still need to attend online classes during the virus break. Well, that is... Well, at least they have the option of doing online, so they're not missing tons of school because of the virus. So if you think about it that way, it's pretty good. But I know that that can be aggravating for sure. Okay. Where's that tool? I want the mover tool. So I can kind of keep it in place here. There we go. Okay, so that I think works pretty well. Let me switch this from global to normal and then push this in. So that way we're not dealing with any weirdness. And then I can delete that face. Oh, did I choose vertice? Edges. Let's delete that face. Actually, let's push this out further. So we won't see past this inside part. So I can actually take this basically to that inside part because it'll all connect. Should make sure you can't actually see the back corner. Cool. So I can delete that face. And then we can go into wireframe and check, and everything is fine. And so now I just have to duplicate and place it on the thing. So there should be a Corona logo on that bottle like the cannon shooting beer out. Yes. So 23, that is what we're going for. So it's the coronavirus, but there's a beer bottle and these are limes, and this thing is going to shoot limes out. So I'm not sure of the legality of putting the Corona logo on this bottle, but you know, it could be good, I guess. I'm sure it would be fine. When I finally render and animate this thing, it'll be okay. It probably won't say Corona on it, but it'll be like yellow and kind of have the colors associated with a Corona, but it just won't say Corona because I'm not about to get sued on this. Not to say that it probably would get sued, but I don't know. And I don't particularly want to find out. So oh, wait, here. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's delete those. Here's what we're going to do. Make this super easy. We're going to delete this face and this face. No, the one up here. Please, not that one. And we'll delete those faces for now. And then we're going to look at this from the front. And we will select and remove all of these vertices. And then we will apply a mirror modifier on this sucker. So that way, I only have to do one side. I gotta write that down. Beardwiser is a fantastic idea for this bottle. Oh my gosh, 23. Amazing. You're amazing. I need a gif of Keanu going, "You're amazing. You're breathtaking." So, welcome back, Francie. I don't know if you've been here the entire time, but if you haven't, welcome back. Beardwiser, I'm putting that on the, I gotta write that down real quick. Hold on, guys. That's a fantastic thing. Opening up OneNote. Beardwiser. Love it. I love that so much. Okay, it's written down. You would love to drink this? Get out of here, man. This thing wants to hunt you down and kill you. Okay, and so actually now we can grab this and we can fill that in. And we can hide the things that aren't important right now. And we can fill this in. And so now everything is fine. You were playing Paladins, but now you're back. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. How was Paladins? How was your Paladin playthrough? Okay, so now that we've got a mirror modifier on this sucker, I only have to duplicate this twice. And actually, we'll leave this one in place, grab this, and look at it from the top. Actually, let's do this. Whatever. We'll just move it. We'll just move it back here. Something like that is probably fine. I'm going to rotate this around the Z-axis only. Something like that. Want to make sure that we can only see this background piece here. We don't really want anything to be switch to the normal view and kind of pull this out just a bit. Yeah, we don't want to see the other thing. So having this here, that's good enough. Cool. What about the spin tool? Could I use the spin tool here? Not really, because the spin tool is made for making like full circles of things. And like let me take a minute. Let me show you. So like if we were to come over here and let's do this. We'll do this completely over here. So like if I wanted to make a cup or something real quick, let's go into make a plane. Jump in here, Alt-M, at center, that's fine. Okay, cool. And then I should be able to... Wait, didn't I... Okay, so I should be able to shift right click. Nope. Control right click. Okay, it's been a while since I've used the spin tool. So let's say, get this out of here. Okay, control right click. Right, we want to make some type of goblet. I don't know, because whatever. That's just what we're feeling, right? So we could then select everything and then go with the spin tool and just, well, we'd need to change the pivot point away from the 3D cursor. So let's do this. Let's grab this, and we're going to move this over on the x-axis just a little bit, and then we'll move the 3D cursor here. So cursor to selected, and then we can... No, that's not what I want. There we go. Select everything. Global. Z. Boom. And there you go. And then you'd have your cup, right? So that's really what the spin tool is good for. It's doing things that you need a full cylinder of, and you can kind of outline things and get your cup very, very quickly. But it's not really good at adding in those extra details, so the spin tool doesn't really apply here. Hopefully that is a pretty good example for why. Hopefully that makes sense. That makes sense, Francie? Okay, and we definitely don't want the spin tool again. So now we can then duplicate this one more time and move it along the y-axis, move it along the x-axis, and then rotate this sucker. Something like that. And then we'll move this forward until we can see all the selected sides. And there we go. So now when we animate this, it'll look like the arms are sticking in there and they're like moving in a socket and then going up and down. So that'll be really cool. So now we've got this little socket piece here for that. Good. I'm glad it makes sense, Francie. I'm glad it makes sense. Thanks for asking questions. I'm always happy to answer questions while I'm modeling. I don't get to do much teaching anymore, so I'm always happy to share what I know. And if you guys have suggestions, I'm always happy to learn and try something new. What's up with the scale here? Can I reset the scale? Yeah, okay. Let's reset the scale. I messed up the scale. Let's see what this is going to look like. Actually, I think that actually looks okay now with the proper scaling. It doesn't look too bad. Before it looked like it was too long, but now that we've adjusted it, everything kind of looks better. And thankfully, they all have the same mesh data. So all I have to do to fix any one part of this is like maybe this is too big. So maybe I just want to scale this on its x-axis. And there we go. Now everybody's has scaled. There we go. And that is why mesh data can be super useful. So take a look at that. Play around with that. Enjoy it. Okay. And I don't like this smooth, super smooth transition here. So what I actually want to do, let's do this. Let's extrude this. Maybe not extrude it. Let's just move it down. I want to see what this is going to look like. I'll fix the turret section in a second. What I want to see is if we take this and we bevel it and we only do like a one segment bevel, something like that. How does that look? Oh, I like that better. That actually works out. That works out pretty well, I think. So I am much happier with that. Cool. And then we can move. So we need to move the turret thing up to something like that. And we can hide this base. Select in here. We will never see this face, so we'll delete it. And what happens if we apply the location here? I don't want other things to move, but if I yeah, whatever, it's probably fine. Really probably isn't a big deal. All right, so this is where we're at right now. Things are good. Things are good. I'm actually kind of happy with this. I'm almost ready to start ripping some things apart. But if you're looking down the barrel, you can see into it. That's not something we want. So let's jump in here and grab the bottom of our... Here, let's go into solid. Let's grab this face here and then jump into wireframe. Do something like that. So now you can't see it. Yeah, that's better. Windows 10 Defender. Welcome. It does, in fact. Well, this is wanted malware. I don't know how that plays into your shtick, but I want this coronavirus. I want this to be a thing. Just a little robot that walks around my house and shoots limes at me. I would love that. I don't know why I would love that, but I would love that. Is that a real account? Is this Windows 10 Defender like a real person right now? Okay, obviously it's probably not a bot, but yeah, I want to go to your channel. What do you have? Okay, so you are a real person. You've uploaded some videos. Interesting. Interesting. Welcome to the stream, Windows 10 Defender. Yeah, I want a robot that walks around like shoots limes at me. You know? How cool would that be? How cool would that be? I'd be a fan. I'm already a fan. All right, so now we have our bottle. That's good. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that like we need to add. Can rotate all the way around here. That's fine. Rotate up or down. That's good. Probably okay. I guess I should probably add like maybe like a camera or something. Something so it can see. So this is okay, here's the real question. Should the camera be a part of the turret, or should the camera be a part of, like, if I make this base smaller and add some like a camera unit, would that be okay? Or should I add something on the other side that's a camera with an aiming tool? So basically mimic this. Do that to a 0. Put a camera on this side. What do you guys think? I'll leave that up to you guys. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Do you want me to make a camera a part of the base for the model, or on the right hand side to go with the limes? What do you think? Come on, chat. Don't let me down here. Let me know. Limes on the right and camera on the left, or camera down on the bottom. You want a tail camera. Huh. Okay. Could probably do that. Could make a camera coming out of this front here. But then it would have to rotate all the way around to pick up some info. Could do that. Could be a downside of the coronavirus. At the bottom, so a camera underneath. So I don't think that would work. The camera at the bottom I don't think would be the best situation there, because, you know, if this thing lays down to rest, I don't know. I was thinking about like how spiders kind of fold up when they die, and that was going to be its rest position, was the legs would kind of fold in and it would kind of set itself down on its base. So camera on the bottom isn't going to work. Am I going to 3D print this? Probably not. I'm probably going to rig and animate it though, and it's going to make its way either into a game, or it'll definitely make its way to Reddit. This will be rendered onto Reddit. It has spike feet already. There's points on the bottom of the feet for like stabbing things. I don't know if we'll do that. Its primary weapon's going to be the turret, the beer bottle turret. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to 3D print this. I'm definitely going to rig and animate it and render it, and it might make it into a game of mine, or I've got a short 3D animation planned for this summer that I'm going to start working on. So this might make its way into that short. So we'll see this again in the future for sure. I love this little model. But I guess it's time that I could probably... I don't see a lot of other details that I could add. I do feel like it needs a camera. I'm not sure quite where we could put it. So if it's like this, camera could go on top, or camera could go on the left-hand side. Make a bunch of eyes on each leg. That is the creepiest thing I've ever heard. That's creepy. No, I'm not going to do that. It's a robot. It's a robot coronavirus. I'm not going to put Yeah, I'm not going to put eyes on the leg. So it's got spike feet, Windows Defender. Thank you for that suggestion. It's got that. Trying to figure out a camera. If you're new coming into the chat, what we're asking, we're trying to figure out where we should put a camera. We're trying to figure out if we should have on the left-hand side a camera popping off, just like we have the cup of limes that will be feeding into the beer bottle that it's going to shoot out. Or if we should put it maybe down on the base and make this little base a little thinner. So give me your opinions. No opinion is a bad opinion. No idea is a bad idea, except the eyes on each leg. That is a bad idea. I don't like that idea. It's creepy. I guess it's not a bad idea. It's just a creepy idea, and I don't like it. But it's a good idea, I suppose. Yeah, okay. I think I'll just put a face on the front here. So we're gonna go ahead and apply that mirror modifier, which is good. And then we have to select all of these that got generated here. Control T. What's going on here? Nope. Let's just subdivide this edge real quick. Right click, subdivide. Grab the same one up here. And then grab these faces, and we'll triangulate the faces here. And there we go. Trypophobia? What is trypophobia? Trypophobia. Oh, okay. Fear of holes, right? Closely packed holes. Yeah. No, that doesn't quite make sense. That doesn't quite make sense for the for the thing. But okay, so here we go. We have all of these pieces, and I think what I'll do is I'll just add in a camera on the front. We won't have one on the back, so we will limit this machine so that it has to like turn all the way around if it's gonna try to see you. Yeah. Okay. Why do I have beer in the thumbnail? Windows Defender, that's because this is the coronavirus. Get it? Get it? I'm punny. Not funny. Yeah, it's punny. It's not supposed to be funny. It's punny. But yeah, it's the coronavirus, you know? I don't know. It's a beer bottle. You're so punny it's not funny, no offense. That's okay. No, that's fine. Totally fine. That about tracks with my sense of humor. Yeah. Okay, so that's there, and actually I'm kind of okay with this. Let's see what we do for a camera lens. So want to come up with something that kind of looks okay. Yeah, Windows Defender, I don't know if this is your first time on the channel, but if it's not, feel free to make fun of my jokes. That's okay. 100% okay. I will never take offense to them. My jokes are meant to evoke groaning because I'm not a dad, but I feel like I'm in training. So that is what it is, I guess. Okay. Looking at cameras, I'm not really sure what I want to... Oh, okay, yeah. There's a decent reference image right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this. 100th time on the channel, or like what does 100th mean? All right, so we're going to inset this face. Oh, you've never talked all those times. Okay. So we'll do something like this and then inset it again, but I'll take it back. And then I feel like maybe extrude and scale in. Yeah, let's try that. And then we want to, let's go back to the select tool, see if we can delete that, grid fill this. Cool, it does in fact grid fill. Let's spin this till we have it up and down perfectly. There we go. And then turn on proportional editing, grab these 4, and then move them along the y-axis. But we'll shrink our sphere of influence to right about there. And there we go. Now we have an eye. Drink Modelo to prevent getting coronavirus. Drink Beardweiser to prevent getting coronavirus. Or maybe drink coronavirus to prevent getting Beardweiser? Okay. Let's dissolve those edges. They're probably not. It's probably not super important. And I can probably dissolve this one too. Yeah, that's okay. All right, I feel like we're almost ready to start ripping this sucker apart and do some UV mapping and draw some things out. What do you guys think? Do you think it's missing anything? I think it's probably pretty good, to be honest. Maybe the bottom of this cup doesn't look right. Don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it's just a shadow. Let me see if I can turn these shadow. Do some random colors on this. It's kind of nice. But I think the shading is coming out a bit weird here. So scale that out a bit. Or simply drink orange juice. Orange juice is the new alcohol. Haven't you heard? Heard it here first, guys. Orange juice is the new alcohol. Courtesy Legendary Wolf. All right. Yeah, shoot. I'm so happy with this right now. Okay. So here's what we'll do. We'll jump back to texture and we'll save this because I'm feeling pretty good about this, to be honest. And I suppose it's time to do some UV mapping, which I'll admit is kind of boring. So is what it is. We've kind of arrived, I think, at... you know what? I'm not a huge fan of this point. I got to fix this point first. Okay, that's better. All right. Happy with this model and how it's turned out. So let us begin. Let us begin the unwrapping. And let's go to UV editing. And I suppose we should hide a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and hide the base. I don't need that right now. And under this rotation thing, we have a lime. So actually, I want to, let's go back to object mode, select this one, go back to edit mode. All right, well, thanks for hanging out, Francie. We'll just be doing some UV unwrapping here, and I'll be walking the process through. So thanks for hanging out, and drop a comment tomorrow if you stop by to let me know that you watched it, if you have any questions or whatever, or talk to me in Discord, up to you. All right, so I don't want to see Lime 2 or Lime 1, and I don't want to see the feeder tube or the link or the rotation control or why did the bottle not get hidden? Or the bottle, or the cup. I just want to focus on this lime here, which I suppose I technically should have like unwrapped it and everything beforehand, but that's okay. Live and learn. So we will take this and we will mark this as a seam, and it went all the way around. Cool. So now actually forgot to turn on live unwrap, so let's turn on live unwrap here. And then That should have pulled it off. Unwrap. There we go. All right, and we're going to turn on stretching to make sure that our texture will not be stretched too much. So we'll go to the overlays and then stretching. And we want to see area stretching. We don't really care too much about the angle stretching. But this is turning out actually pretty good because, you know, it's basically just a quarter circle. So it lays out pretty well. And there's got to be something I can do with this. Let's sync up the selection here. I want to, let's do this. Let's dissolve this vertex and then Control T, this face. Which actually, I suppose I could do again. And then we can join these up. But I actually, nope, I don't want that. I want it to go from here to here. And we'll join that so that way we don't create any really strange edge loops. And we can go ahead and kill that, just like that. Perfect. Yeah, maybe it's not perfect, but could be worse. Could be worse. So now let's do the same thing on the bottom side here. Dissolve that vertex. Dissolve that one. Join. There we go. Yep. All right, so now we have our lime, and our lime is unwrapped, and I'm happy with this unwrapping. We have a little stretching towards the edge here, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not worried about that in the slightest. Cool. So now we can go ahead and unwrap this cup as well. So we come here and let's grab an edge loop going all the way around. And actually, let's do this. Ugh. Okay, that really doesn't work for me. I'm not super thrilled about that. So come in here, just subdivide this. No, we want to join those together and then subdivide that line, giving us a thing. Then we can grab both of these, triangulate faces, and it's going to do wonders. Kind of do the same thing up here at the top. So we'll go from here to here, join that, and then subdivide, and then Control T, triangulate faces. Coronavirus goes well with Lyme disease. Welcome, Irasado65. Welcome to the stream. That is a beautiful pairing here. I don't know if you've seen the whole model, but right now everything is kind of hidden off. But let's bring everything back just to show it off. Except the bottle. The bottle didn't show. There we go. So yes, we are having our coronavirus with some limes. Pretty happy with that, to be honest. But now we're in the unwrapping phase. So, you know, it's not as fun. But I'm very happy with this thing overall. Just gotta make sure I do the texturing justice. How's your night or day going, Irasado? Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll keep the feeder 2 live. We'll put it all on a hide the link. We'll put all of these on the same texture. And hide the base. That's fine. All right, so let's do something that you're probably not going to see. We'll make the seam on the inside here, since you're probably not going to see this. And just right click, mark as seam. There we go. That's a start for sure. But then we're probably going to want to go all the way around here. Do I have any? I had 32 vertices extra. Good. We've removed those. So now let's split this. Okay, that's not too bad. Or you know what? Instead of doing that, let's do this. Let's go to the inside of the cup. And that's where we'll mark the seam here. And then we need to, let's hide this line for a quick second. Select all of here, except that one. Mark that as a seam. There we go. That stretching is fixed. And we can do the same thing on the other side. Where, okay, so that's basically all the music in that playlist. Good to know. I should add some more to that. See, what do we want to listen to next? Let's go here. Vocals, no, all instrumentals. Let's go here. There we go. Some good music coming to you live from Epidemic Music. Glad your night's going well. How long have you been doing 3D art, Irasato? And why'd you decide to pop into the stream tonight? If I can ask that, you don't have to answer it. I'm just going to ask it anyways. And we'll do all except that one and mark that as a seam. Okay, I don't like the stretching that's going on there, so we'll fix that. Honestly, it's pretty good. But where is this? It's having some problems because we did it there. All right, let's clear that seam. Oh, that's not too bad. But we'll come up here. And there we go. So we'll have the outside of the cup and then the inside of the cup, and everything is basically dark blue. This one isn't though, and I'm not quite sure why. So you've been dabbling in Blender for a while. You subscribed to my channel and the stream popped up. So figured to pop in and say, hey, well, thanks for popping in. Thanks for subscribing. And I hope my videos have helped you learn some new things about Blender and get better. And we're trying to do this live stream every Tuesday night for me, about the same time. So, you know, hopefully we'll get used to it. And if you ever have questions or you want to just talk about whatever you've worked on, I would love to talk to you about whatever you're working on. All right, let's Control T. No, come on. Why? Delete the face. And we'll add it back in because there should be a fill option. Goodness, why is that? No, okay, we'll just fill that like normal. I was hoping to do that without having to and join that, subdivide it. There we go. Don't know why it makes me do that now, but there we go. All right, just like last time, we will grab an edge that you probably won't see and mark that as a seam. And then we'll select all the way around here. Actually, let's clear that seam there. And then deselect that one. And mark that as a seam. There we go. Sweet. Yeah, man. I love helping people learn, and I don't get to do that much anymore. So anytime that I can help anybody else, like, get better at something or answer questions that they might have, always happy to help. So if you have questions going forward in the future, or want to see me create some content because you're struggling with something, let me know. But yeah, we'll try to be here every week, right around the same time, 7 o'clock Central Time. And all right, here we go. So this is going to be a texture map. It's going to be kind of annoying, to be honest, but no biggie. So we will select everything and unwrap, and now it'll all kind of fit into non-uniform scale. That's not good. What's not uniformly scaled? Go into the layout. This isn't. So Control A and apply scale. Cannot apply multi-user object line. Okay. That's weird. I was able to do that earlier. All right, let's change this music. I don't like this song. To a multi-user object, huh? I don't remember what the control is. What is it? Is it Alt S? Yep. Okay, cool. So Alt S will reset a scale for you back to 1. So that's probably good. Cool. So what's the scale on that? What's the scale on that? Control A, apply that scale. Okay. So now we can hide this line and that line. Select all of those, go into UV editing, and then unwrap. And everything comes in just fine. Which is good, but now we're dealing with the fact that... Let's turn off proportional editing. Okay, so we're going to move that off to the side now that everything is pretty dark blue. All right, so let's see how we can fit this in here the best. Now with this cup, I might actually want to pull off. Let's do this. Let's move everything off the map, and then I'm gonna fix the. It's still probably gonna live unwrap for me, and that's fine. But we're gonna fix this by just marking that as a seam, and then we'll come down here and mark this as a seam as well. Yeah. Okay, so now everything is dark blue, And there we can all scale in uniformly now, and we can apply our texture in the least stretched possible way. So that's ultimately what we're trying to do here. Cool. So once we've done this, I can actually start like texturing everything. But let's switch to these UV islands, and we want to put them where they can go. Okay, so this is a part of the cup, and this is a part of the cup. So let's do this. Let's make this as flush to the corner as I can get it. It's probably about as good as I'm going to be able to get it. Take this over. Okay, that's also part of the cup, but it'll be the inside of the cup, so it really shouldn't matter. And then let's grab the lime piece. Okay, so this is the outer lime, and that's the inner lime here. And actually, we can scale things up a little bit more, I think. So we can put this here, and then maybe we can do something like this. Okay, and the reason I'm doing this is so that I can try to make my UV map the most. I can try to get the most space for my UV map as possible. But you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to turn off live unwrap here real quick. Normally I don't like doing this, but I feel like this will be a really good thing. So we're going to mark this as seam. And now I'm going to pull that away, because when I do this, I can now stack these on top of each other, and it'll free up a little bit more space for me. So that way I can more accurately place these. Okay, so let's do this. Let's try to get it as close to there as possible. What's that rotation? I don't know, to be honest. It's probably fine. Okay, and now I can snap this to the vertex. And now they're on top of each other. So I can now move them together. So now we have our lime. And actually, let me rotate this 180. And this will be our lime base. And then I can take this, move this down a little bit. And that's our lime rind. If we were going to keep them in sync, where is this? This is the inside of the cup. And then this is the outside of the cup. Yeah. They're almost the same size. I could almost put them on top of each other, but I won't. I won't. So inside of the cup, so it's going to be on the... Let's do this. Let's move these. Inside of the cup. Lime. Okay, and then that's the feeder tube over here, and this is the outside of the cup. And if I really, really want to, I can probably try to get a few more pixels out of this texture depth. or texture density. But I'm almost at a point where I don't... Almost at a point where I don't see a need to continue doing it. Because it'll just be diminishing returns. So... yeah, they're almost the same size, but... it's fine. They're different. It's okay. All right. That's good enough for me. We'll save that. We'll save that UV layout. And I want to say that we'd be ready to texture. We could do some texturing. Should probably put this on a real quick break, though. So I will be right back, guys. I'm going to go get some more water. So let me just bring everything back and leave it up on the screen for when I return. Should add a be right back thing, but I'll be right back. I'm just going to go get some water in my cup. So see you in a second. All right. Thanks for sticking around while I went and got water. I do appreciate that. Okay, so now what we can do is we can go into texture paint mode and we will add in a new texture. Now I'm going to actually do just a 2048 by 2048 texture here. Doesn't really matter, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing like a 4K texture, but it is what it is. All right, and then I'm going to use a UV grid just for myself, and we will call this lime ammo. Okay, always important to name your stuff really well. At least in my opinion. I love naming things super, super well. So that way, when I inevitably forget what I worked on in 3 or 4 months' time, I can know exactly what something relates to. All right, and last time I did some texturing, I created an image slot, but we're not going to do that. We're going to add just a base color paint slot here. Not quite sure how this is going to affect. Oh, maybe I have to do it differently. Okay, so that is different. So let's do this. So lime ammo, material, albedo, 2048 by 2048. Yeah, I've been working with these dudes who don't really name things, and it's kind of aggravating, to be honest. Okay. Reading their code is hard to do, if I'm being completely Completely honest, because their names don't always make sense. Hide the link. There we go. And actually, we go ahead and hide the feeder cup. And I don't want to see lime 01 or lime 02. And I don't want to see the feeder tube right now. So we're just going to paint on this lime. And I'm going to try my hand at actually doing some good hand painting. And I will have to post whatever my result is in a fellow artist Discord, because they are fantastic when it comes to hand painting food. Yeah, I don't want that white line. That's going to come back to bite me at some point, but whatever. Okay, so we are going to change some options up. We'll add the color, make sure the color is the same between all of the brushes, and then we'll go to brush, and we're going to create a new palette. So we'll call this the lime palette, and I'll add just the things in here. Cube 1 through 100. No. That's not good naming. Oh, lime shouldn't have black on it. What am I doing? Okay, so we're gonna want, I want to find a good like outer shell lime, and I feel like that is my outer shell lime color. And then we're gonna want to go paler. Maybe something like that for the inside, and then maybe even a little brighter for some of the vein work. Okay. Definitely not doing a gradient. All right, cool. So our lime palette has some things ready, and then just like I always do, we're going to start off by just filling some junk in. Now, is that the color that I want on everything? No. So we'll jump over here, and what we'll do instead is we will go to edit mode and grab only the faces that we want to texture on. So we'll hit Control L, grab all of those, go back to the fill mode, and turn on paint masking. And then click. And once we turn off paint masking, we have the beginning of our lime. And actually, that doesn't look too bad. And, you know, I feel pretty good with that color pick, you know? I don't know. I don't normally feel that way about color picks, but I feel that way right now. Am I going to post this later? I will absolutely post this later. I'll probably post it to the YouTube post and for the community. I'll probably be posting it on Reddit, shouting it from my Twitter, because I love this model. So yes, I'll be posting it somewhere later. And then once it's fully rigged and animated, which we will not be doing tonight, I will upload this to like Turbo Squid and Sketchfab and post it on Reddit and do a whole thing. So yes. Joe Nuevo, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. Hope everybody else here is having a good day too. Do different skins for each level of virus. You know, Legendary, I was actually thinking, what if this made it into like a Cells at Work type video game, like tower defense video game? That would be cool. Well, thanks for stopping by, Joe. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll be back here next Tuesday. I'm going to try to do every single Tuesday from this point forward. We're doing a live stream, and then eventually when I can make YouTube my full-time job, I'll be live streaming multiple times a week doing this type of art and showing some things off. So, but thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. See you next week, hopefully. Gosh, okay. Did I pick a great color or what? I'm just gonna pat myself on the back there. Pretty proud of that. Texturing is not my strong suit. So if you're hanging out, like, I'm not a texturer. It's not something I do, and I'm terrible at hand painting, but it's time. It's time that we give it a try, and we give it a genuine try. Now, what's really cool about having set up the UV map this way is I don't have to texture this side. I can texture this side, and it will just duplicate because of the way the map is set up. So now we can come in here and just say, all right, we don't want to paint on anything else. We're going to simply paint on what we've selected. So I can come in here now with this lighter color and maybe add some vein in here to this. What we're gonna do though, we're gonna turn on smooth stroke, because I'm gonna do some pretty decent lines. So I think they're generally kind of made up into these section. Oh, that's the exact same color, isn't it? Okay, looks like we're going a little bit more towards the white. There we go. And we'll add in this color here. Oh, it's doing that whole pen tablet strength thing. Okay, let's undo that. I'll press harder. Angle's wrong. So if the center is here, let's turn off smooth stroke real quick. So if like the center, let's say the center is here. Right, so if that's the center, then we want to make everything kind of go towards that. So we'll take this and I don't think that's the right color. We got a light problem. Having a light reflection issue. All right, but that kind of looks cool, but I don't want it to use that right now. So why does it show there's a light? I don't know. It's like showing there's this weird little light refraction going on. I'm not sure. I don't like it, but I'm not going to play around with it. So let's turn on smooth stroke again. Just kind of take this up. And that looks okay. Shoot. Okay, let's go and fix this in the UV editing. All right, so here's the problem. Here's this weird issue, right? We want to scale this -1 on the x-axis. Because it was partially upside down. So now we can go back into texture paint and those lines should line up. Yep, just like that. And that can happen pretty frequently when you unwrap your models. You want to be aware of that your models are, that your UV models can be upside down. Just keep that in mind. Because if you're stacking your models on top, or your things on top of each other, that can happen quite a bit. Okay, so let's do this. so we'll take this, we'll drop that back down. I'll take all of that to the center. There we go. Maybe add in some extra lines here, just to kind of keep it. Okay. Now the back of this model does need, I feel like it needs a little bit of something. Do I model with a pen and tablet? Yes, I do. I have a pretty decent pen and tablet, to be honest. My wife was doing school as a graphic artist before she switched her major over to like creative writing. So I bought her a really nice Huion tablet for her digital art. And then when she stopped doing it, I was like, well, I'm going to take that for my art now. But I used to do it on like a $70 Wacom tablet. All right, I need to rough that up a bit. I need to rough this back up a little bit, create some pock marks on it, but let's see if I can do that here. And then I want to play around with no, that's not it. I seem to remember there being a setting for applying like, I don't know, normals, but whatever. I could go in and paint normals or add normals to this, but actually I think I'm okay with these limes. Yeah, there we go. We have our limes. Now we just got to do the cup that it goes into. So let's take a look. Let's do a Spanish little cup. I know coronavirus is originating right now from the Chinese, but coffee cup. Oh, that's some really intricate design work that we could do. So let's do a red and yellow theme for this cup, I think. I think that'll be fun. Don't know how it'll turn out, but I think it'll be fun. And as long as we like it, right? That's what matters. That's what matters. Okay. Yeah, do you model with a well, I don't model with a pen and tablet, I guess. I use my mouse and keyboard for the modeling part, but yeah, with sculpting and texturing and stuff, yeah, I definitely don't use a mouse for that. Okay, so we can go ahead and hide these limes for a second because we're going to need to actually texture this cup. So we'll go into texture paint here and we will use a material. Base color here. Yeah, I'm going to do a red cup. I'm definitely going to do a red cup. Okay, cool. So I guess this is what? Cup texture, maybe? Okay. All right, so let's create for ourselves. A new palette. So we'll go to the brush. We'll create a new palette. We'll call this palette cup. That's fine. And then we want to go into the reds with this. The red's orange, so. You tried modeling with a pen and tablet. It's just too hard. Well, doing modeling with a pen and tablet is really difficult. But doing sculpting or texturing with a mouse is nigh impossible. And I mean, I say that, but I had students that could produce a pretty decent work with that. Okay, cool. So we filled this in, and I think we'll do a base of red. I don't know, where's my cup? I had a I feel like it should have a band going all the way around it with some design or something. So. All right, let's go here. And let's find, I'm going to find maybe some type of yellow color that I think will go well. It's too big, and I don't like that color. So let's go back to the brush, find a different color. Maybe we do something in the blue range. Oh, that could be cool. Okay, I just had a dumb idea. We're gonna try it, see if it works. But I am accepting the fact that it's a dumb idea before we start this. Okay. So into edit mode, grab that. So I guess we could turn on fill here. Let's do that. Let's make it blue. And then we will go to, not edit mode, turn off masking, go back here, add that color to the palette, come here, smooth, turn on smooth stroke, and then, let me put on my glove because I don't want my tablet to get all smudgy. It's totally not a sculpting glove. I should get a real smudge guard, but nah. Okay. So here's my thinking, right? Here's what I think. I think we take this. And we make something like this. Red, green, and white. Oh, that would have been cool. I think I want to try this. I think I want to try this this pattern that I'm doing right now. Kind of like it. I like where it's coming from. Not sure how it's actually going to turn out and if we'll keep it when we're done, but Why do I feel like that's gotten a lot smaller? It has. Okay. We're going to undo those last two ones. Okay, so this may be a weird question, but I saw something a while back about getting layers with Blender's painting. And I don't know if any of you have seen that or heard of that, but I've definitely, I feel like I heard about it. I don't know if it's an add-on that I would have to get or not. Maybe you can see the mesh, you could use it as a guideline. Yeah, I probably could. Probably could. And I could annotate it out too if I really wanted to. Meh. That looks dumb, doesn't it? Is it possible? Oh, Joe, welcome back. Oh, I thought you were heading out. Okay. You've just hung out. Okay. I don't know why I thought you were leaving. Someone else was leaving. Francie left. Okay. My bad. Is it possible to view the underlying mesh in texture paint edit mode? That might help with the accuracy and the symmetry. I mean, maybe. Let's try something out. The answer is a decided no. That's going to be a no. Oh, you were gone. Okay, I thought you had left. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, you can't really see the mesh here. Well, hold on. There might be something I can do. Let me try. Relations. Nope. There was something. Oh, that's all texture slots. Hold on. Let's go back to the layout. And with that selected, viewport display, all edges, wireframe. So then if I go into texture paint, there we go. Yep. Okay, cool. So that you can, yes. The way that you would do that is you go into the object properties and then go to viewport display, check all edges and wireframe, and then that'll do that. That'll do that. But if we're gonna do that, here's what we're gonna do. If we're gonna do that, which I'm all about doing that, let's undo all of that texture. That we did. Okay, cool. So then we're going to select the axes. No, not the axes. The wireframe and all edges. And I need the paint through option. We go into texture paint mode again. There should be an option for paint through, which I think it's back face culling. Yeah. Okay. So then I should be able to do this. So let's go to line and then grab the red color. No, let's grab a third color. So we've got red, blue. I'm not about to make a patriotic cup, but maybe I am. So it might, but let's check something out first. Let's try this. Something like that. Okay. And then here, all the way across. Let's turn that off. And here, all the way across. I guess we also have to turn off occlude and then do this. And that right there. And then it should go all the way through, which it does. And it doesn't paint on other faces because we have masking. So now I can look at this from the right-hand side. Go back to solid. And do the same thing, essentially, where it lines up. Here we go. Good enough. Good enough. Not really worried about it. So now we've got this white line going all the way around, and this will help us with keeping... No, stop. Maybe I should get a smudge guard because... Oh, shoot, wait. Okay, so now we can turn this on. Backface culling and occlude. We'll turn that back on. Go ahead and save the file. Huh, it's weird that... Okay. Is what it is, I guess. I don't know. I was concerned that everything is getting its own texture now, which is not what I wanted. I wanted it all in one texture. But I can do that, and I can combine them when it's all said and done. Probably. Probably. Dang it. It's not what I wanted. All right, Legendary. Thanks for hanging out, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I know it's got to be. It's almost 11 o'clock at night there. So thanks for hanging out. It's good to talk to you again. Dang it. Let's do this. Let's do this thing right here. So that way it all lines up. It's all on the same thing. I hate that I have to redo this, but it should be pretty quick. So we'll go to the fill brush, no biggie. Make the color red. Fill it red. Everything's filled red. Fantastic. Now it's all in the same area, which is great. Then we can go back, turn on masking, make this color. Fantastic. Take a look at this from the front. Backface coloring occlude. Fantastic. Brush. Take this to right up here. And we want the stroke to be the line. No, wait. Line doesn't even make sense for the fill. Why is that an option? Okay, there we go. And take it right along the bottom. There we go. Take a look at that from the right-hand side. There we go. In there. Not perfect. Well, so I do, yes. I actually do want to keep these white lines. I'm thinking about doing a separate design in the middle. So we'll have the red triangles at the top and the bottom, and then something else going on in the middle. Not quite sure what we're going to have going on in the middle yet. My brain doesn't think that fast. But that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to go ahead and actually save this texture just in case. I just got a feeling, just in case anything goes wrong. We've saved the texture and everything is good. And so our lines are done, and then our cup will be done. Okay, so let's look at this from the front, and then we're going to go away. And basically, here's what I think will happen. All right, so we'll go to the brush. And I actually can keep it on the line, so we can add that to our brushes, and we'll go to the red. So we can go from here to roughly the center, do something like that, and then from here, back up, and then rotate. So it'll go 1.5 each time. So here to almost the bottom and roughly the center, and back up. Good suggestion, making me pull up these wireframes so we can keep the design a little better. Good suggestion. But you know what's not a great thing? Oh no, did I not turn off? No. Crap. Okay. All right, let's undo. All right, now that that's on, now that backface culling and occlusion is on, probably should make these do. How many vertices go all the way around here? We have 32 vertices. That does not divide evenly by 3, so we're gonna need to make them go 4 in order to match this up. Or we could do every 2 and maybe not as high. Let's do that. Every 2, not as high. Yeah, math. Sometimes you gotta math. Why wasn't I thinking? Okay. So maybe do something like... Oh, we need the red color. Yep. Oh, and because that's only what's selected. There we go. Okay. You might want to count first. Yeah, so we got 32 vertices going all the way around, and it won't take me too long. So, all right, so we'll do something like this up here. And since we counted and we have all 32, this should line up exactly which we were having a problem with the last couple of times we've done this. So, yeah, glad we counted. So, Joe, how long have you been doing 3D art? And what brought you to my channel? You don't have to answer that, but I would just like to get to know the people who subscribe and hang out. All right. Turn off face masking. That's what we got. We got a pretty cool design here. Actually, really like that. All right. Let's do the same thing for the bottom. But a little thicker this time at the bottom. Not a lot thicker, but just a little bit. You've been messing around with Blender for several years. You're not very good. Why do you think you're not very good? And so if you've been messing around with it, what do you do in your day job? There's a little mistake right up here. That's okay. Just realized I made that. I don't feel like fixing it. You do software security. Welcome. Dude, I'm a software developer by day. YouTuber by night. Which I guess is good because I only make enough money to pay an editor. I don't actually make any money right now. I'm just taking everything I'm doing and trying to make better videos with all of the income that comes in. 3D modeling is a hobby you have to do something to relax. I feel that. I feel that. What's the craziest thing you guys have made? Irasato and Joe, what's the craziest thing you guys have made? Or what's the thing you're most proud of that you've created? I develop automation type stuff. So I'm a contractor for a bank. And so I develop software to help people interact with a 60-year-old system. So, have I considered doing Udemy? Potentially. Potentially. I've got a plan for a whole production studio, and you'll find out about that coming up very soon. Probably this summer, we'll have some real information on the production studio that's coming out. But like, the production studio is happening, so I'm building one. I don't think I'm going to do Udemy, but I think I am going to do, as a part of that production studio, like boot camp style stuff for people who want to make video games. So I'll teach programming and 3D modeling and everything in person to groups of people who are willing to pay for it. Because Udemy takes a higher production value than I'm willing to do right now. Oh yeah, dude, the amount of security problems. The developers I work with have been there forever, and they don't sanitize their database calls. They don't do like cross-site scripting stuff, and which is fair for them, I suppose, because a lot of their users are just employees, and they wouldn't be trying to do anything since they're not outside-facing applications. But still, it was like, what do you mean you don't sanitize your database calls? So, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, what do I want to do here in this middle? Kind of want to switch it up. Okay, this is kind of dumb. But I'm thinking go in white, full band white all the way around. And then like maybe some green diamonds. Like some green diamond shapes, something like this. Right? But in green inside the white. And obviously I'd make it look better because I'm just going to undo that. But that's what I'm thinking. Do you guys think that would look dumb? Definitely going to go to this, though. I'm going to change the stroke to space again. And I will. So we'll see. We'll see how long I keep working at this bank. I'm not sure. I'm like almost legally obligated to work there. Well, I'm contractually obligated because I needed to get out of teaching to work there for 2 years. Or I face a pretty big financial burden. So I'm not trying to face that. Okay, so instead of the diamonds in here, we're going to do little limes. We're going to do tiny little lime members. Yeah, it is part of the course. So it's not too bad. Ultimately, it's really not too bad. I kind of enjoy the work, but well, I enjoy the work. I don't enjoy working with 60-year-old software and having to write modern applications to interact with 60-year-old software. That I don't enjoy. But what are you going to do? Not pay that $36,000 fine. That's for sure. That's not what I'm going to do. Okay. So there we go. I write in Java and C# primarily. So I started off as a full stack Java dev and then became a C#.NET developer when they needed somebody to move over, and I was like, yeah, I know C#, so they just kind of moved me there. So Irosado, thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate your support of my limes idea. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy your night. Have a good night's rest. But yeah, Joe, 36 grand to 36 grand to dip out on this current job. Not great. Not great. But it is what it is. So, yeah, I hope to see you next Tuesday as well. I definitely hope to see you next Tuesday as well. So I'll be back. I'm not sure what we'll be working on. Probably something for the short that I'm working on. So it'll probably be not some coronavirus model, but more along the lines of like background assets that you're going to see in the city. So have a good night, man. All right. So we need the colors for the lime palette. And we'll go with dark color and... Oh, we can make curves. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. Forgot that this was a thing. Too big. Let's drop that radius down. All right. Maybe I'm not going to use this curve. Not a fan of it. Okay, we'll get rid of the curve. And here's what we'll do. We'll grab the line and we'll go to the light. Here. Drop this pretty far down. There we go. How much longer is my sentence? Well, I started working for them in August, so I've got until August of 2021 before I can contractually leave and not face a fine. So it's not the worst thing in the world, to be honest. Okay, I don't like that color. That color doesn't quite work for the limes. We'll go here with the lime palette. It's not the worst thing in the world. You know, a 2-year sentence isn't that bad, and I'm making more money than I made when I was teaching. Let's raise it up. And then we'll do these every 4. But I get recruiters calling out to me almost on the daily now, definitely 3 to 4 times a week. And they're like, "Hey, we have jobs and you are the right candidate, or you look like the right candidate. Let's talk." And I'm always like, "Sure, let's do this thing, right?" But then we start talking, and I'm like, this is what I'm looking for in my job, in my next job, and then they always just leave me out to dry. No, I'm actually in the Midwest right now. Yeah. Started in South Florida, and now I'm up in Minnesota. All right, yep. And then we want to turn on the smooth stroke for sure. There we go. That's not too bad. Let me do a second stroke here. Just make that a little thicker. So, but once this contract is up, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to stay in Minnesota. I'm going to try to find a place to land and set up the studio and get a physical location and have my team move kind of close to wherever I'm at. So got eyes on Texas and other smaller cities that I think will be good to raise a family in. You're in the DC, Northern Virginia area? Nice, man. There is a lot of tech work there, that's for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Virginia's pretty. Haven't been there in a long time. But what I remember about it was very pretty. But I told my wife that we would move. I really told my wife we would move wherever once she's done with her school, we'll move wherever her job sends us. So I don't know. She kind of wants to work for like Cartoon Network or something to write on their shows. So we could end up in Atlanta, or maybe going to, probably not to Orlando. I don't want to move back to Florida, but somewhere where a lot of content gets created. But we probably we're not going to end up in California, Hollywood area for sure, or LA. Wow, I am surprised at how many more of these I still have to do. I didn't think I'd made that many lines. I think this might be the last one. Yeah. And then I just color them in. All right. Cool. And I can always touch these up if I want it to be hand painted, but maybe I like a picture of a lime that I find. I can, let's just turn off smooth stroke and go back to this color right here. How'd you get into security? Software security. And if you're in that area, do you work for like the NSA? Or another government agency, or do you just work for a tech company in that area? Okay, once this cup is done, or once these limes are done, this cup is done. Started as a high school math teacher. I started as a teacher too. If you did, you couldn't tell me. I'll take that as a yes. No, I started out as a high school computer science teacher. And then I taught video game development for 3 years. And I got tired of students who couldn't do it, but I couldn't fail or remove from the program. So I quit. You work for a tech company, but you work from home. Dude, that would be so nice. My wife works at Howard Hughes Medical Institute during neuroscience. That is insane. How does it feel having a wife that's smarter than you? That's okay, that came out really sexist. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I just mean, like, cybersecurity is tough, but it's not neuroscience, you know? That's insane. Yeah. Not being able to fail students because their parents were connected in the school district was the worst. Honestly, that should be illegal, but they're not going to enforce that. I won't tell her you said that. I won't tell her you said that. She'll be using Blender for a project coming up. That's awesome. That's fantastic. What is she? Is she modeling parts of the brain? That'd be really cool. She heard you, now she's reading the comments. Well, I won't tell her. And if you delete your comment, she won't know. You'll be helping her with it. Think, yeah, that's cool. That's so cool. Visualizing classes of mitochondria in the fly brain. Interesting. Interesting. Probably require some Python scripting. Well, sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. I try to stay away from Python. I try to stay away from non-object oriented languages. I just don't like it. I'm not a huge fan of scripting languages. They don't I like the structure of an object oriented language. I like the structure of Java and C#. I didn't like JavaScript because it was the Wild West and you could basically just do whatever you wanted. But I liked TypeScript when I was working on front end, so, you know, because it's object-oriented JavaScript pretty much. All right, got 2 more, and I'm done with this cup. Python can be object-oriented? I thought it was just a scripting language. Can it be object-oriented the same way that, like, JavaScript can be object-oriented, where you make classes or you make methods that have properties, and so you basically have a class and you only expose it, or like you put the entire class inside a method and only expose certain things? Whoa. What happened? Mr. Gamer, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Beard Battalion, as I affectionately like to call all of my subscribers. Don't even know if you're here in this live stream, but thanks for subbing. It has proper classes, not like JavaScript Abomination. Good, okay, because they are abominations. Guy she works with won an Academy Award for his work while at ILM, so that's really cool. Dude, that's impressive. Winning awards for things is nice, you know? It's kind of nice. Like, it's just nice overall. Doesn't even matter what the award is for. I just like winning awards. Yeah. All right, cool. So we have, let's turn off this wireframe, Turn off these edges. Can leave this shadow, I guess. That's fine. Go to object mode. Oh. And that is because let's go to shading. And we don't want this to have the cup texture anymore. We want this to go to the lime albedo. Yep. All right. Loving that. That did not come as a YouTube link, but I'm actually planning on doing my own animations and stuff in Blender. So it's cool that people actually use it to create things, and not just still images. That might run again. That would be annoying. Okay. All right, let's bring in this feeder tube. The feeder tube is going to be stupid easy because this thing is just going to be... should it? No, it should have its own thing, shouldn't it? Should have its own thing. Yeah, it did try to block it overall. I just let it through. All right, feeder tube, you're getting kind of the same treatment here. Going to texture paint on here. We will... Let's reverse these colors. Let's go to the cup palette. Go here. Fill it blue. And then do a thick zigzag red. So actually, let's bring up the bottle. How much of this will we actually see? That much. That's as much as we'll see. That's not even worth painting. Yeah, that's just worth leaving like that. So I'm going to leave it like that. We're going to save this image. And our limes and our cups are done. Object mode. And there we go. Call this ammo material. Just post the whole link in here, Joe, and I'll check it out. Okay, let's go back to layout and bring back in this base and the link. All right, we're going to have to do this bottle next. All right, the bottle and the stand are going to end up on their own texture. So let's make a new texture. Make a new one. And this will be bottle stand. No, I didn't get... Nope, neither went through. Neither went through. All right, so let's unwrap this, and we'll unwrap it both on the same texture. And actually, let me check something here. You will never see the top of that, right? So, may just have to append it. Okay. So maybe youtube.com/watch. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. I don't have a desktop thing. I'd show it on stream. But that is a neat... Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. I like that. Thank you for sharing. That was really neat. Okay. So since... Yeah, I guess since I don't need that, let's hide this bottle. Or actually look at the wireframe. And hide the base again. I think I have faces on top of each other. I did. Okay. I'm sure with enough effort and time you'll do just fine. All right, we need some different music. This is starting to... I thought we were here. We were. Okay, cool. So change up the genre now. Let's go to just beats, I guess. Turn off vocals. Yeah, here we go. This is good. I want to delete those faces for sure. Join that. Delete the face. Alright, so if we bring the bottle back, I want to drop this down to right about there because that's really all that's necessary here. And then since we're not going to need a top, since you will never ever see it, I can just mark that as a seam and that'll be fully unwrapped. So we select everything. We're good to go. Solid. Alright, I'll unwrap these one at a time. So we'll hide the turret control and the bottle. Alright. And this face here, we will need to triangulate. So here to here, join, subdivide. All right, and there's not really going to be a place that we can mark a seam where people aren't going to notice, but here we go. Actually, what if we just clear this? What does that look like? Ah, that's good enough. That's good enough. I'm not even going to mark a seam on the bottom there. It's fine. It's ultimately fine. I'm not worried about it. All right, let's bring back in this bottle, though. This bottle will be a little annoying to work on. But we'll treat it like a normal beer bottle, and we'll put the seam at the bottom, going all the way down. So then just mark that as a seam. And that's been slightly unwrapped. Join that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Because this needs to be subdivided. There we go. And actually, let's do this. Clear the seam from there, and then we will pop off the whole bottom. And then the whole inside. Join that up, subdivide it. Let's try this. All right, that's a little better. We've cleaned up the vertices a bit. All right, and it's a start, but it's not great. Man, I want to come back and continue this tomorrow. I don't have the effort to continue going. Man. All right. So here we go. But I won't. I'll keep going for now. I have time. Here's what we'll do. We will mark that as a seam. And then mark. So let's grab this one. Move that down along there. Do something like that. Select everything again. Clean that up just so we don't have tons of vertices on top of each other. Like in here, there's really no reason for it, but anyways, we'll go over here. We'll mark this as a seam there, and then feel like I can clean this up. Do something like that. Drop that down and then clean it up again. Yeah. Something like that. And that's probably everything I needed for this whole thing. All right, so if we select everything, now things are much less stretched overall. grab the island. And we want to get these to where... Oh, that's problematic. Where is that? Sync up the selection. Where is that? Oh, it's inside. Okay. You know what? We can do a lot here to fix this. We can dissolve those edges right there. And we can dissolve this edge. And then that is ultimately good enough for this bottle, and that makes the stretching a lot easier to manage. Okay, yeah, that's probably good enough. It's probably good enough. So just like last time, we will scale up, move everything off, and then move them back on one at a time. So we want to take our big pieces and place them first. So we'll put that one right about there, and then move down in order of size. So it looks like not everything is going to be able to fit. Just fine. We want to put... We can make this work. There we go. And then the next biggest piece is going to be here. I'm going to rotate this one a little bit to make this fit. There we go. But this isn't going to be able to fit everything, so scale down we go. Where is that on the model? Oh, this is on that back side. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. All right, with that island select. Here, actually, what if we try this? Bring this down in here, do something like this. Then move this up here. Take this big corner piece, put that right there. This can fit in right here. This is probably one of my favorite parts, because it's just like solving a puzzle, right? Just trying to figure out where everything is going to fit. And I'm sure that there's a better way to do it. I'm sure there is. But okay. So that has been set on there. And it's good, pretty much, to go. Pretty much, I guess. Man, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to start texturing this. Dang it. Okay. Well, here's where we got. Let's pull everything back up. Bring the base up. Looks like I'm going to be doing this on stream for a little bit. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate hanging out with you. Joe, it was nice to meet you in this format. And it was good to see you. And I will be back probably this weekend working on this for some decent time on Saturday, just so I can get this whole thing textured up. I'm really proud of these stupid limes and this cup. Don't know why, but I am. And I think our coronavirus part 2 will be just as good, where the rest of this thing will get fully painted, unwrapped, painted, and then maybe we'll start the rigging by that point. So I'll probably be back on Saturday to hang out and do this on stream. So thanks for watching, everybody. And if you like the content and you liked hanging out on stream and you want to keep learning more Blender, check out the channel itself for more tutorial videos. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's anything you'd like to see me model on stream or create content for, let me know in the comments down below. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you guys definitely next week, but probably also on Saturday.